Brought to you by 730 CKLG.
So I hear.
What do you want to talk about this week, Alex Carrigan?
Same thing we talk about every week, Eric. I need a job. Come on, hire me. I need some work.
And pay him, too.
Yeah.
All right, Brendan, hit it. Brendan's a little slow today.
Yeah. That went over.
Yes, Alex, it's very Fred Penner. Do you remember Fred Penner?
I do remember Fred. Yeah,
You
banana
do?
phone, right?
Yeah. That's my intro. Was like, you know, where you crawls into the log.
Yeah.
I crawled into the tube and I come out and that's the inspiration of the
You
intro.
crawled into the toilet at the end there.
Well, I did, and I. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was eating lunch on the toilet. Shit, I totally forgot my intro. Welcome to the living room. I'm Eric Chapman. Alex Carrigan is here, former News 1130 traffic reporter. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna fucking get into it. And Brendan's here as well, screwing everything up.
Yeah. I'm here screwing up.
He didn't do it right at the start.
no,
We did this great intro. I had it written out, and it didn't work. It's okay. I still count it as a flawless show.
It wouldn't be a show if I didn't screw up. At least we're on the air this week. So.
Are we?
Yeah.
You
I
sure
hit
about that?
start.
You can't answer that,
I
can
did
you?
hit start on the broadcast. I'm pretty sure I did.
That's all that matters. Okay, 604-336-3896. That's the phone number. I got to plug the phone in. I'm going to do that in a sec. Left Coast Living Room at protonmail.com. 336-3896. 604-336-3896. Today on the show, we're going to be happy. We're going to be sad. We're going to pee a little. We're going to have a good time.
Oh.
Because there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of emotions. As someone who was fired in 2016 from Jack FM, that's why Alex is here. It's because he was canned, and you're not going to fucking believe how he got canned too. It's insane. It really is, and it's just poor management decisions. So that we're going to get into that. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about News 1130, AM 650, and Alex Carrigan getting fired. But Brendan, I was at Brendan's house yesterday. I didn't bring this up because I wanted to keep it spontaneous.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I was at and I have PTSD, bro.
You from my apartment building.
We have to get Brendan a new place to live.
Why?
Right now, because it's so small.
Yeah.
It's just, that's it. It's just because, this is why, Brendan.
Yeah.
Because in 2016, I broke up with my fiance of 10 years. And I lost everything. And so all I had was the option was to move to Joyce SkyTrain Station and live in this 50 square foot
Okay,
apartment.
well, I'm a little bit bigger than that.
I know,
Yeah.
but I was probably like with my bed in the room and shit, like a little smaller than you. And all I had was one little window, and that's it. And Brendan lives downtown Vancouver in this little basement suite, which is fine. The building's great. I actually love the building because it's old and falling apart, and there's probably asbestos in it, and he's going to die from mesothelioma in 6 years. But the rest of it's really cool.
For sure, but I got a great deal on rent.
Yeah, and that's what it is, too. And that's why I'm in my asbestos-filled home as well, because rent is fantastic.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it just took me back to I was in Joyce, man, and I was like, what can we do to help Brendan get a new place, man? Because you need a new place, bro.
Yeah, especially if I keep getting books. Books and vinyl records. I just live in a pile of them inside my little 400
And you
square foot.
play the piano. I noticed you had a piano.
I did play the piano up until about 3 weeks ago, and I did it for 2 years straight, and I just was not making any progress, so I've stopped. I'm in a lull right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I was learning on an app.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in a lull. Like I can't advance further on this app.
Why not?
I just
hit in the head
can't.
or something? What do you mean you can't? What do you mean?
Well,
This
also
looks
there's
like
a
a
couple
mental
of
block.
reasons. There's a couple of reasons. My neighbor is not a big fan of when I do practice piano, so I have to work around his schedule now.
Yeah. Well, headphones. Get headphones.
Yeah, but then the app can't hear you. So I need to get like a MIDI cord, I think, actually, and then put that into my phone. And then I think the app might be able to hear me, but the app listens to you play, and then it tells you like when you're hitting the right notes and the wrong notes and such. But
you don't know when you're hitting the wrong notes?
Well, yeah, I know when I'm hitting the really wrong notes.
But not the subtle ones,
Not the subtle ones,
okay.
No. But yeah, actually, my neighbor's been away for the last 2 weeks. I'm starting to think he moved out, which would be really awesome.
Is his place the same as yours? A little box?
His is a little bigger, I think.
Yeah.
His is just a little bit bigger. I'm the smallest one in the building. Yeah. I'm really weird too. I was talking to my landlord.
Yeah, I know you're weird. 604-336-3896. Get Brendan a new place to fucking live. Go ahead. What were you saying?
My place is really, really weird because it's got its own separate plumbing, unlike all the other suites.
Yeah.
I have an electric stove, and apparently all the other suites have like gas stoves back to back.
Yeah.
All my pipes just go like to somewhere else randomly, so that's why when there was this huge plumbing issue.
There's children watching. Please don't talk about your pipes.
Yeah, I know. When there was this huge plumbing issue on my floor and everyone's bathtub filled with shit, mine didn't.
Thank God. Oh, and you're on the bottom floor, so you're getting everyone's poop.
Yeah, the whole building's shit, yeah.
Oh, and that's another reason. Left Coast Living Room at protonmail.com, 604-336-3896. I forgot to plug the phone in.
I was wondering what you're doing over there.
Hold on.
What are you doing? Okay, let's just put Alex Carrigan on there.
Okay.
Hi. Alex Carrigan is still here.
I've been here the whole time. Yeah, he's here. Yeah. He's gonna talk too much in a while.
I just want to throw it out there too. Like one of the things that you need to be able to learn an instrument is you have to be okay with your neighbors knowing that you suck at that instrument for a very long time.
Yes.
And
that
sounds like you crossed that threshold.
That's a really good point. And because I did the same thing with I had to learn 6 songs for a band I used to be in because our keyboard player left, and I had to learn them really quick. And honestly, the only thing slowing me down was knowing that my neighbor could hear.
Yeah, you're self-conscious about it, right?
Yeah, even sometimes right now I talk really loud and she can probably hear me. Hi, Gail. You're a great neighbor. Yeah. But, it's like a whole thing. And you don't think about that. There's a little tiny subtle things that
I'm in a podcast with Dungeons & Dragons live playthrough. And the thing about
plug it more. Plug it. Where are they at? What is it called?
Dungeons, Dudes, Dragons on every social media account. Okay. And one of the things about that is I know that my neighbor upstairs can hear me, but I'm one of 5 people on this podcast. So they're only getting 1/5 of the conversation. Right. So it gets really awkward in that. We all put on voices and we all kind of contribute in that. And, you're very cognizant of the other people who are listening to you as well.
Right.
And then when it comes out with a fully edited package, oh my God, it's so great. But then it's just one guy talking to himself in his room.
It's probably when you're on a call with the boss and you're fake and go through a tunnel. You're like, hey,
I'll call you back.
Blank. That's what it sounds like to them. That's what it doesn't understand.
Theater of the mind.
Yeah. 604-336-3896. Alex is here. Call him and give him love because he got fired from News 1130. We're going to talk about radio stations across the country getting shut down for no other reason than pure stupidity. Alex is here. 604-336-3896. We're going to talk about his day, the other day, and how it went very poorly. Let's be real. Left Coast Living Room at protonmail.com. Play that thing, Brendan.
Imagine.
Selective introductions to the beautiful people and their private phone numbers are waiting for you 24 hours a day. $5 a call, adults only, for selective introductions to the beautiful people and those private phone numbers.
604-336-3896. So, Alex, I take old, 1-900 numbers? Yeah. So I take old 1-900 number commercials, and I just put my phone number over it.
I was going to say, how did you get me in that dating video there? I saw me in the blue shirt.
You did, right?
Yeah.
It was. That's true.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Kind of like familiar.
It's back in the day. How old are you, Alex?
I am 37 and a quarter, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you one of those? You get to a quarter? What are you, an 8? Like a 60s? So you know about 1-900. You're above the age.
Absolutely.
Back in the day, they were rampant and everywhere. Yeah. So I have a bunch of those stupid things.
I'm just in that window. Like some of those things were kind of just phasing out as I was going to be. I was born in 89, but I'm not really an 80s kid. Like I had a cup of coffee in the 80s. I'm practically a 90s kid. Yeah.
That's the same with me. I'm an 81 baby, so I am technically a millennial, but I don't like any of those fucking labels. I hate them. Same with political ones. But I lived through the 80s. Like, I grew up really fast because of my childhood, and so I was like getting splinters and finding porns in boxes in forests and like, you know, all kinds of. I'm definitely if I were to identify as a generation, it'd be Generation X.
I was just on the cusp of like finding porn underneath the mattress. Going out and playing with your bikes and
But you've had a computer your whole life then?
Yep.
Okay,
I'm old enough to have like the first couple computer labs in elementary school and like going to the computer lab and there's rooms of it and learning how to just operate it. And,
that's what it was for me. We literally had a class for an hour that we used Macs, and it was just how to use Internet Explorer. That was it for 6 months in high school. Okay, we're going to talk more in a sec. We got to set this up because the other day, who cares about the fucking day? It's AM 650, which I helped launch, by the way. I was there from day one for about a year in, and News 1130 are no more, Brendan.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is News 1130.
It's over, Johnny. It's over!
So this is from a history of Canadian broadcasting.ca. Oh, I got a voicemail. Someone called, Brendan. You didn't see the call.
Oh, there's so much going on
Bro,
here. You
man.
saw where I
Jeez.
live.
So, I did.
You saw right.
Oh my God. It's amazing how that just stopped me in my tracks because that explains everything. CFDC, News 1130, began broadcasting in Nanaimo. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. On April 1st, on a 430 meter with 10 watts of power.
On an April Fool's Day.
Oh my God, it was too.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It took until April 2nd for people to go, oh my God, this is real.
Oh my goodness, imagine the fun you would have had, eh? Yeah, that's great. Arthur Sparks, quote, Holstead, and Bill, I just copy pasted this, so don't fucking judge me. Bill Hanlon of Sparks Co., an automotive and electrical firm, started the station with a Westinghouse war surplus model purchased at a radio show in Seattle the previous year, which is trippy too. The DC in the call letter stood for direct current. Like, that's how old school we are.
Yeah, that's a DC and AC/DC.
Right?
Yeah.
It totally is. Remember when they used to, back in the day, they used to think AC/DC was like satanic worship?
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, you're talking, like, it's Christ in there that's demonic, and really it's just direct current.
Mate, we saw it on the back of a sewing machine.
Yeah, right, yeah, exactly, yeah. So, yeah, DC was direct current and the batteries sold by the firm. So that's why they did DC. And the studios were on the second floor of Sparks Co. at the Wallace and Fitzwilliam Street in Nanaimo. So, yeah, that's where it started. And then it went through a lot of iterations in between. And then it was a country station. And then play that clip, Brendan.
After 20 years of targeting urban cow persons, Vancouver radio station CKWX is getting ready to pull the plug on country music. Tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, the station will undergo the most dramatic metamorphosis in its 43-year history. Say goodbye to Garth Brooks and hello to All News Radio.
CKWX is spinning its last compact disc today. After 20 years of playing the stars of country, the pictures and the music will be history at 8 a.m. tomorrow. These are some of the 40 new staff that will replace the disc jockeys, but they're walking in the shadow of other news stations that didn't work in Vancouver.
Canada's only commercial radio news and information network is no more.
CKO went under in 1989 after years of running in the red. The staff at WX say that this time is different because there won't be any talk.
Let's just be glad we had some time to spend together.
As the final songs were played, the largest radio newsroom in Western Canada prepared to go live. WX 1130 will feature half-hour news packages around the clock. Meanwhile, the Country Music Library will be put into storage, marking the end of an era.
Coming up in the next 30 minutes, more details.
A short...
24-hour all-news radio station is on the air.
The first few stories, a few shakes, you know, but once you got into it, it was just like old home. I'm used to 3- and 4-minute newscasts. It's been 8 years since I've done anything even close to this. Yeah, this is getting back to the meat of news, what we really should be doing in Vancouver.
A short break, and when we come back...
That was a live newscast. It was really sloppy. I left it sloppy. Tom
I
Mark,
feel better now.
You should, Brendan. You're doing great, man. You're awesome at this. Tom Mark, I sat through the overnights at NW for many years and listened to him and listened to the way he read the news and didn't model myself out of him, but he taught me a lot. Him and Terry Bell taught me about reading the news, man. And so that was, what was it? How many years old is the station? Do you recall? Is it 50? I think it was around 50.
That's a good, I believe it's about 50 years old.
Okay, we can't say for sure.
For 1130, like some of the roots of 1130, I've been told have date back almost to the late 20s and the early 30s.
Well, what I just read was from 1920.
From 20. There
so
you go,
that's when it started in Nanaimo.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, it started in, one sec.
Yeah. Was it 89?
I don't know. I can't read. I'm not fast enough on the Google. It doesn't matter. So it started. And the point is, it's not around anymore. Yeah. And Sportsnet 650, really quickly, as I mentioned, I helped launch that with, I was on with Steve Darling, Myra Lawrence, and Balls, James Sobalski. And we did the morning show, and it was great. That's where the legend of Sportsnet Eric was created. Yeah. Do you know Sportsnet Eric? Did you hear about it ever when you were there?
Over the head.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's so deep. It's a deep cut. It's not worth it. So Sportsnet Eric was when we were in the morning show with Balls and Darling. I made a comment that I think women's sports were profitable. And as we saw in the last few years, what did we learn? They're more profitable than men's sports in a lot of it. But this sports writer for the province, who will remain nameless out of respect, decided to tear me apart. So I walk into the newsroom one day, and everybody's looking at me funny and laughing. I'm like, what's up, guys? And they're like, did you read the Province today? And the Province is a big paper in BC. It's like, people read that. I was like, no, what's up? They're like, I'm like, fuck. So I go to the kitchen, and I grab some water, and I pull out the paper, and there it is, Sportsnet Eric. And this guy goes through my Twitter like 10 years back, 3 or 4 years back through my, he's tearing me apart. He's calling me names. And for 2 weeks, every day in the province, this guy writes about Sportsnet Eric.
That's free press right there.
It was. But at the time, I look back and I laugh, and it was great. But at the time, I was like, this is awful, man. You're a bully. Why are you bullying me?
You think it's going to go up to the top and go like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job here because some
who
writer's
knows,
got a hit out from me.
Yeah, or like they had a relationship with the station, so if him and his editor came in and I was there, I would be like, yo, what the? And then I get in trouble. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just, God, it's hot in here. It was too much. Anyway, Sportsnet Eric, Sportsnet 650. You're welcome. So that launched in 2016. I was there for about a year and made great friends. John Jang, who's now TransLink Communications. Satyar Shah, I worked with him before.
Oh, sad.
When he was at with Bro Jake. I worked with Sat for a lot of years. We went for the same jobs multiple times. Dan Riccio, my goodness, I had no idea. I'm not a sports guy. I had no idea who these people are. I met a lot of really great people. Randeep Janda, one of the nicest people ever. It's weird because he's in media and he's not a jerk. The rest of them are, just for the record. John Jang especially. But anyway, so here the other day, we get into some awkward situations, which Alex will explain. But they shut down News 1130. Go ahead, Brendan.
Don't forget the sunscreen. Westwood One Sports.
Listeners expecting Canadian content when they tuned to Sportsnet 650 Tuesday got a syndicated American talk show instead. Rogers Sports and Media pulled the plug on a total of 6 stations, including Sportsnet 650 and Vancouver's News 1130 Radio.
I was part of the launch of Sportsnet 650.
Rogers let Scott Rintoul go during a previous round of layoffs, so he knows what suddenly out-of-work former colleagues must be feeling.
I think you and I both know it's not this lucrative career in Canada. So it's something that you're passionate about. And in many cases, people have foregone other lucrative opportunities to do this because it's something they care about.
During his tenure as managing editor at News 1130, Bruce Claggett sometimes had to lay people off until 2020, when he himself was let go.
And I know the feeling on both sides of that, and it's brutal. These are people that not only have families, but they've also invested themselves 24/7 because news doesn't stop.
Former sportscaster Perry Salkowski now works in finance. He wants those let go to know there's a future beyond broadcasting.
Realize you have a great skill set. It might not look good on a resume, but once you start talking to people, you can really, you can move to a lot of different careers, and I'm proof as an old guy that I could do it.
Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
Okay, Perry, I've been looking for work for 3 years. What the hell are you talking about, man? Go ahead, Carrigan.
Shout out to the CTV stuff there, too. They got B-roll on the wrong building. We moved out of that building back in November, and we moved into the spot at West 2nd with the other City News guys.
You're in the right down. Oh, really,
eh? West 2nd in Columbia, yeah.
So you and Kevin were down there?
Yep.
That's the only other. Who else was doing traffic?
It was myself, Leah Halayev, Ryan Littermark. Ryan Littermark.
Oh, yeah. Ryan Littermark.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Thank you for reminding me, too. I got to return his call. He called me on Friday night, Saturday night. What day is it today? Friday night, I think he called me. And I got to return his call because, we're in a big group chat together. And, I'll explain the group chat as well, too, when we get into finding out about how I found out about losing my job.
Well, let's get to that. Let me wrap this up. Let's get to that because that's why you're here. So this isn't just about a news station going away. It's blah blah blah. Radio's dead. No, it's not. It's dead because of a certain level of management. I'm not going to say program director. Sometimes I do because you guys, where you at? What are you doing? You're doing nothing while it dies. But there's a certain level of management that has been sitting here for the last 15 years doing nothing. Well, it's like climbing the climate emergency. We've been screaming for years. Radio needs this. Radio needs that. Oh, we're gonna do. You strip all the money, and you leave it with nothing, and then you take away all these jobs, and then you write op-eds about how you think that radio deserves better, even though you fired people across the country. Come on. So that's my rant about that, because there's a certain level of management that it's their fault.
I feel like that one in particular just kind of touches a nerve, doesn't it?
It really does. It really does.
That op-ed about that person.
That's it. There's a person involved in this that obviously I have a problem with. Yeah. But anyway, so this is a lifeline. Like again, I'll bring the climate emergency up. When the shit hits the fan and we have rolling blackouts because BC has no power and don't have power. We need a lot more power. We buy it from other places. And when the rolling blackouts start and there's people dying from heat exhaustion and heat stroke, where do we go when there's no TV or computers? Nowhere now. We could go to radio. Did you know that if you just do a simple process to almost every cell phone up to a certain date, it's a radio? It's built into every radio. It's built into everything. But we're not able to access it now. And when the shit hits the fan and people need information when floods happen, when fires are at your door, because that's what's going to be happening, now we don't have anything. So again, it's because it's poor people. Let's be real. Nobody cares about us poor people. And that's our lifeline and our access. So that's what we've cut off when we cut off all these stations, when Rogers does that. And so and also the way they did it, which we're going to get into next. So I'm going to shut the F up. I'm going to run this stupid thing, and then we're going to bring Alex Carrigan on. We're going to talk about it. Let's go.
Then Catherine Hepburn and Cary Grant start at KVOS.
We shouldn't make light of that situation because a whale was injured, but we wondered what happened to Willie, and now we know. Okay, Alex Carrigan is here. We're going to play his intro now. It's Alex Carrigan, fired in his car on the way to work, fired in his car causing angry emotions. dare you, Brett? You're on the show. You can't curse it while we're doing it live. Do you need to preview this stuff before I play it?
Where are you? You're not on here.
I'm not. Where am I?
I don't know. Let's go to Alex.
Oh, no, it's because just stop that video.
Yeah, okay.
It'll show up if you stop the video. Because I needed to put it in and take away the layer. Just hit stop.
Yeah.
I want to see me.
I know. I want to see you too.
Just hit stop.
I know. I got to get back to it here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
There we go. You saw where I live.
All right. That was 604-336-3896. We'll hear the phone if you call. I can't believe someone called. That's fucking crazy.
I think it was probably a spam call or something because I think they would have called back.
It was my mom.
Yeah.
It was definitely Mama Kerrigan. She's
Mama
always...
Kerrigan, call back again. 604-336-3896. Alex Kerrigan is here, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey. Alex, tell us who you are and what's your radio history?
I am I'm a specialist. I'm a traffic reporter. Actually, one thing I want to throw into there too is, one person I forgot to mention with the group chat. If she's watching, she's seething right now. But Sydney Parker, sweet Sydney Parker, she's also in there. We'll talk to her. We'll talk about her in a quick second because she's important to the story as well. But I am somebody who has been very passionate about radio for a long time. Somebody who's always wanted to use my voice to, make money. I feel that a lot of people, and when they're given God-given talents, they need to exploit them. And I am one of those people who just has a very pleasant-sounding voice. So getting into radio, sports is really where I wanted to get into, but I came up through a lot more local channels, and it's really tough to break in. Sports is a little bit like acting, where everybody wants to be Robert Downey Jr. Everybody wants to be like the big guy who does it, but you got to be pretty content with being Crest Extra 2 for a lot of stuff, and it's hard to make money with sports. So I found my way into traffic reporting, specifically AM 730 a few years ago after I had been fired from another sports gig.
What was your first year you were in radio? You said a long time. What's a long time?
Well, I started doing some part-time courses, I believe, in 2009, 2010. I did the program 2012, 2014. And then immediately after that, I got a job at Q101 Merritt's Music Mix up in Merritt, British Columbia.
Okay,
so
I was going to ask, you said local. Where is local? Is that where you're from, that area?
No, I'm actually from here. I'm from South Surrey, White Rock.
You were born and raised here.
Born and raised
You're
here,
a rarity.
I am.
Oh, wow. You're like the whale that got, or chainsaw killer whale there. You're a rarity.
Yep.
A golden. Oh, wow.
Everybody wants to work in the market that they grew up in.
Yeah.
And again, I was told that I was going to have to move to, can we swear here?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, bumfuck Nowhereville.
Yeah.
They were like, you're going to have to get out of here. And I went to Merritt for a year, came back, and, by the good graces of some divine being that sits above, I was able to get into AM 730. And another thing, too, I worked overnight.
Yeah.
So overnight jobs in radio jobs specifically aren't really that, they're not around anymore. But back at that time, overnights were also extremely rare. So it was one of the weird ways that you can get into radio. A lot of people that I spoke to who have longer careers, that's how they got in as well. So I was one of the last people to work overnights at AM 730. Not the last, but one of them. And when was that?
What
2016, 2017, I think.
When you left?
I got let go from Merritt in 2016, and I was hired pretty much immediately on at AM 730, and I spent about 5 years there. Because of my sports background, I got to work with the Vancouver Whitecaps and the Lions when they both got signed on. Because there was a little bit of time when they were in limbo because of TSN 1040, Team 1040.
The whole thing, when
they
shut down, right. Yeah, that's right. I remember that,
I don't know how AM 730 lucked into that, but we did.
Yeah.
And because of my sports background, I was asked by the wonderful Mark Staling, shout out to him if he's listening. Big fan of him,
Mark, I know Mark well. Yeah, for sure.
Look, Mark, it's because of him that a huge amount of people are in radio. Like he was able to advance their careers.
He was one of those guys that was in the position to hire like any new, I remember once when we were working at NW and one of the first live reports ever Mark did. He went and did a BC Lions hit, and he used to wear this skull visor all the time. And it was it was stained and sweaty. Yeah. And the BC Lions guy calls up our sports director at the time. He's like, who's the fucking guy you sent here with the visor? He's like, well, Mark Staling. What's the problem? He's like, no, he's a great reporter. It's just like, can you get the guy to dress a little better? Can you get to put some clothes on and look decent and shit? It's like, oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah. And then Mark, he went through there and then he became one of those well-known voices.
Mark's a gem. I'm a big
at
fan of
AM
him.
730. Yeah. Okay, so you got to News 1130. You've worked with Terry Shintz, Larry Littermark as every Sydney. Yeah.
Before I got to 1130, I did a little bit of because I was doing the full-time stuff at AM 730 for sports broadcasting. I was doing both Whitecaps and Lions. And on rare occasions, I would do. There was one or two situations where they were broadcasting the same day, and I was like, I'm going to be doing this. I'll get the overtime for it. Cool. But a full-time position came up. I didn't get it. I felt a little disrespected. I decided to leave, and I did a brief sabbatical with Main Road Lower Mainland Contracting. I did like 6 months with them as social media.
Oh, okay. You weren't a flag person, a stop sign person? No. Okay. Yeah.
No, I got the cushy office job.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah.
Got let go from there, and then a few months later, that's how I found myself at 1130 News Radio.
Okay, so let's go to let's go here. Yeah. So it's what's the date? What was the date that it happened? Do you remember?
I believe it was May 29th, 2023.
No, the day that the recent thing where the station ended.
Oh, that was July 7th.
So it's July 7th.
July 7th,
it's
2026.
What? It's 3 in the morning and you're waking up? Is that about the time you wake up?
No, I got the afternoon shift.
Oh, okay, so it's 11 o'clock and Alex is up. He had his beauty. He's looking handsome as ever. He's in his apartment. He's washing his face. Everything's happening. It's a regular day. You know, you don't go into the day being like, something weird's going to happen. Well, it's just a regular fucking day.
Well, let's paint a picture on that, too, because there was something that happened before driving into work today. So we're in that group chat, myself, Ryan, Leah Halayev, Kevin Olenek, and, of course, Sydney Parker, which didn't mean to leave her out the first time. I'm a huge Sydney Parker fan, but we're in this group chat. Ryan texts us. He's working the evening shift, and he goes, did you guys get that email? It's a mandatory all-person meeting on Tuesday at 10 a.m. And what I'm thinking to myself is something about Sportsnet 650 had already kind of leaked about how they were going to be shutting down.
Oh, it did?
It did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I read a story about it that night, about how there are reports that 1130 is going to be shutting down.
Yeah.
Or not 1130, that 650 is going to be shutting down.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, that's going to impact our run. It's going to impact a lot of people's jobs, but we're probably just going to have a meeting about how the run is going to be impacted. At 11:30, we did sports at 15 and 45. Okay, so maybe we're going to be doing more news programming. I just thought to myself, I'll find out what that 10 a.m. meeting is all about when I show up around 10:45 before I get to my shift, as one kind of does. And then I'll be really mournful about sports at 650 because, of course, that's a tragedy.
Yeah, but even in the back of we had, we know about stations like they're holding on by thread all the time.
All the time, yeah.
So it is, though it is surprising, it is not uncommon for things to happen to like AM sports station at any point in the history. Yeah.
But you know, the big point about that tangent is I'm driving into work thinking at least my job is safe. 10 a.m.
Right, because you do traffic.
Exactly. Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah. We get to everybody when they're still in their cars, and like, you know, lion's share of that listenership is still, I'm in my vehicle, what's going on? I get so many calls from people like, hey man, what's going on at the Massey Tunnel?
No kidding.
Like people who are in the traffic.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, there I am, 10 a.m. at the Massey Tunnel, stuck in a traffic jam, waiting for the 10:01 to come on, seeing if there's anything going on. And the same kind of thing happened with us with Sportsnet 650, as we saw in that pack there, where it flips over to a syndicated program out of Toronto, I believe, or Ottawa. It's the Rob Snow Show.
Yeah.
And that is when the eyes go wide and I go, oh my God, this is not good. 10:15, I'm coming into the Massey Tunnel. I'm that close to losing reception.
Yeah.
And I hear the pre-recorded message.
Oh my God.
This is the last day that 1130 News Radio will be broadcasting local coverage. The website will continue, City News, the TV station will continue, and we thank you for tuning in for X many years.
And take me in your head, man. What the fuck is going on? Like, what's going through? Like the initial impact of that. And you're driving, so you have to focus.
Yeah. Well, that was it. Like everything just kind of sank, and it's like going through shell shock. I don't mean to kind of dramatize it too much, but it's like getting a call saying that somebody in your family died, because there's so many emotions, and as you accurately say, you're driving. You can't process them live in the moment. You have to get from point A to point B. But as I'm driving through, the message right up front is my key card even going to work when I get there? Like, am I going to be allowed into the building?
Yeah.
And of course I get in there and there are people crying in the parking lot. I give everybody a hug. And After I collect some things, there's another group text that I'm added to about.
They let you collect your things because a lot of the time in these corporate situations they don't do that. No. Or if they do, you literally have security guards. Yep. Seen it many times. They walk you to your desk and you pick your stuff up. So that's at least they showed you. No, I'm not going to say thank you for that. No, it doesn't compare to what happened. So go ahead, yeah.
Shout out to Raul, the security guy. I told him what was going on. I walk in and I'm like, kind of red-eyed. And he's like, "Are you okay, man?" And I'm like, "No, we don't have a job here." And he gives me a hug and he says, "Good man, never down." And I go, "Gracias, Raul." But
thank you, but no, not right now, man. There's nothing stuck because when I was at Jack in 2016 when they got rid of the Kai and Tara Jean morning show when I got canned and I got my boss was bawling. I come into his office and he's bawling. And I'm like, "Bro, what's wrong?" And he slides a paper across my desk. And I'm like, "No, dude." And I just hit it off the desk because I knew what it was. He's like, "I'm sorry, man." He's like, "I know I brought you in, la, la, la." And his voice is cracking and he's crying. I'm like, "Oh, my God. What the fuck?" So let's go to those emotions real quick, Alex, because Scott Rintoul mentioned in that clip how we do this. We do radio. There are national radio hosts across the country. Think about that. You have a national audience. Doesn't matter what the share is. That's a big deal. They're making $60,000 a year. Mm-hmm. Like it's like traffic, like entry-level jobs start at 35 to 40, 45 now. And that just moved up. So like we do this for love. We do radio for no other reason other than I had my own show and I didn't get much money for it. Yep. It's not for the money. So Alex, with so much passion, love involved in this, like when do you start to feel that?
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because the initial firing is like, okay, I'm fired, but then it's like,
Well, I mean, we had this separate group chat, and we went out to, I think it was Craft Brewery, and all of us got together and just kind of shot the shit. Everybody, and I mean everyone at that table, their phones were blowing up with, immediate family members, of course, other people in the industry who had just found out. And everybody was getting texts. A couple people were getting calls from corporate, from HR, like, "Hey, we need to talk to you about something." And be like, "Yeah, I know, thank you, bye." But it was almost immediate when the news broke because radio is such an immediate medium.
That's why it's important. Yeah.
So
valuable. People
turn on the station and all they hear is static. And the first thing you kind of think in that regard is maybe my car is, maybe my car's acting up. And then you kind of search around a little bit. You find a news article, and then out of nowhere, it hits. And then if you know somebody and you start texting him, you start calling him. So when we're sitting there on our, the restaurant table, again, everybody is I need to step away here. My mom's calling me, or my, "Oh, do you know this guy? He's calling us." And
my gosh.
So it's immediate when the first run comes in, and then after a couple of days, then the strangers that you've never heard of start. They find you on Facebook, and they.
You mean the fans then?
Yes,
that's what you're into. The people of why radio is important is because there's this connection made. Yeah. And for some reason, it's different than TV news. Because working alongside like Chris Galis, Sophie Luer, you realize the connection that. But when you talk with someone like a John McComan, the connection that it's different. Mm-hmm. There's something intimate about it.
It's not exactly a brag. I'm not like
no, not at all.
Here, but I've been getting hundreds of messages, and if you wrote me a message and I didn't write back, it's because it's overwhelming. And it's all of this. I was just talking to a friend of mine about how all of this kind of comes together, where you're still mourning the life that you had and the job and all your future stuff, but then the adoration comes in, and there's a different emotion that all of this kind of comes together in this weird cocktail.
Is it helpful or just weird?
It's helpful. Yeah. It's definitely because you want something to distract you from the incredible sadness and the grief about not having that job. Because I'll tell you what, and we also have, we got a little bit of a severance coming in, so I've got some money coming in. But in the hundreds of positive messages, I'll tell you right now, I would trade all of it to know that I could go into work tomorrow and continue to do the service that I am good at, that helps cab drivers and Uber drivers and truck drivers get from point A to point B. Yeah. I would give it all up at a moment's notice if it meant that all of us could go back and hang out in that room and do what we're good at again.
You know, it's one of those things you don't notice how important it is and what value it has until it's gone.
Exactly.
Because when 730 originally went, you know, it's like I went there, I'm like, oh, I got to go. It's not, wait, this is A&W. What? No. How do I got to go over the ironworkers. Yeah. How do I find out what's on the ironworkers? I can't go in my Google. I'm driving. Yeah. How do I know what's on the fucking ironworkers? Yeah. And you can't.
As good as I think we were in 1130, we would get calls like 4 years, I think 3?
Yeah.
I think 3 years after the fact that AM 730 went down, we still get calls about it.
Yeah,
we go like, don't you miss AM 730? Be like, yeah, man. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Because it's such a unique thing in regards to talking to people that are in their vehicles, going to where they need to go. It's such a specific thing. And as you said, with the network and the syndicated program, I don't care what's going on in Toronto.
No, why
I care
would
what's
you?
going on in my backyard.
Well, that's again part of the management decisions that are being made when you hear like, you know, Meredith on Jack lives in Toronto, if you didn't know. Like, big reveal.
Yeah.
But, like, Vancouver is a super unique... Like, I grew up in Edmonton, Calgary, and Red Deer. They're radio towns, no question. Alberta's a radio province. 630 CHED, big deal. But Vancouver is a very unique radio station, radio town, sorry.
Yeah.
My dog's making weird pukey sounds. She's probably going to throw up. You can't have someone in another city reporting on what's happening here. We see through it in a second. It doesn't work that way anymore. So that facade that they pull over it all to try and keep it alive while they kill it in the background, it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy about how the decision of an accountant in Toronto can impact Vancouver news and sports so much?
Man.
Isn't that great?
In such a massive way.
Yeah.
So how are you dealing with this? You mentioned the sadness a couple times. How are you dealing with the sadness? Hi, Cindy Wilhelm. Was that you that called back?
Oh, Cindy, hey.
Yeah, Cindy's an old NW fan.
Did someone call again?
Love
I'm
Cindy.
sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. No one called. It's fine. I'm telling you to call. Sir, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's a weird one because it's been about 6 days, I think.
Yeah.
So some of that is kind of easing through, but you know, I've talked about the grief of your old life. I was literally in the process of moving to Vancouver. I live in South Surrey, White Rock right now.
Right.
And I was going to move closer to work because I wanted my commute to be better. And now I've gone ahead and canceled that move, signed a lease, and like 3 days later I found out. So that's kind of a whole thing too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff to kind of process. I gave notice of my current place, so I'm going to be moving home for a little bit and trying to find like another. Yeah.
I mean, it'll be nice to have some home cooked meals.
Yo, Mom's thrilled. Mom is absolutely
I bet you she's
thrilled.
hyped.
Oh, yeah.
What's Mom's name?
Romney.
Romney. And come on, you love this.
Yeah.
Son's
Mama
coming
Carrigan.
home. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So okay, so like, but that's the thing too. Like, what's that?
I said it could be worse. You could live where I live.
Well, yeah, like that's
yes.
It's a really good point that you bring up too. Where like I have a luxury of having parents that are still alive, and I have a great relationship with my parents. They also have space at their place for me. Not a lot of people have that.
No, my mom lives in Central Florida, and she's not taking me in.
Yeah.
I don't know. My mom's still alive, and I don't. It's debatable what you said there. No, I love you. I love you. Whatever. That's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so yeah, like I've been on the job. I left MW in 2023 because of racism. That's why I left, for no other reason, racism and bullying. And I've been looking for a full-time job since then.
There's not that many left.
There's not. And that's the thing, like 200 people, 221 jobs across the country. Like, I'm not trying to be a little tit here, but this makes things difficult for everybody. Like, the job pool is difficult as it is with AI and people applying for jobs that they shouldn't be, but they could write an AI thing, so they are. Like, the whole thing is just this weird Ouroboros, as a snake eating its own tail. That's some mythological shit.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, they like that. Yeah,
I was like, that's a good word. Yeah.
So it's like that's where my emotions go. I am so bloody scared for all of you because it is difficult out there, man. And I know you have your stuff, but I'm like, my first thought is like, okay. But first thing I did when I found out that everything did, I actually texted Ben Dooley from CKNW. I was like, look, Ben, this happened today at Sportsnet 650 and AM 730. If this happens to you, you call me because I want to help you get a job because it is so difficult. So like, what's the feelings around that? Like, how are you there? And like, how are you like, are you going to move somewhere? Like, what are you going to do, Alex? There's no more radio stations to apply to.
Yeah. Well, you know, further to that point, there's what I do is a very specialized skill set.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, because traffic reporting is very important, as we've talked about. But in terms of jobs that are left, like, you know, there's CTN out here, which provides the traffic for a bunch of other stations. the CBC has their own traffic team, but I don't even know how many people, 4 or 5 people. Those chairs are spoken for.
Like, impossible to get in at CBC.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, right.
So, like, I don't really know if there is a job in traffic reporting for me in the future, especially not here in Vancouver, certainly.
Right. So you spend the last fucking part of your career building this up, and because some corporate asshole made a stupid decision, now you have to change your entire life.
Yeah. Well,
you have to look at Toronto. You have to look at America. You have to look at other countries.
Or I have to look at getting out of radio entirely.
Oh, good luck, man. Yeah, like what Perry Solkowski was on there saying, you know, he's Perry Solkowski. He's a little bit of a different echelon here. He's a national, international broadcaster. He can walk into any job. He could be a car salesman. He's in finance now. But look, I'm going to be honest. I don't know how to transition my skills. Yeah. Well, I have a shit ton of them, but I don't know how to make it anything. So again, like, what are your thoughts? Like, where are you with that? Like, I know it's loading a lot, and that's maybe the future, but I feel like that's something you got to be thinking about at least.
Trust me when I say I've already been thinking about it for quite a while in terms of, like, when I got hired on at 11:30, I knew that this was my last hurrah in radio, and if anything kind of happens, then that's it.
Oh, okay.
So I was already kind of planning a bit of an exit plan in that. And in terms of traffic reporting, as I say, it's a very specialized thing where there are places I can go that, you know, my skill set is valuable to them. Like TransLink is hiring a lot of externalists. A traffic guy would be pretty good for them. Don't hate me, but ICBC, I would be really good with them. Drive BC, the Ministry of Transportation.
Okay, yeah.
There are places where my specific skill set can go. And when we talk about the avenue of radio and the skill set that we have there as well, we are so good at thinking on our feet. We are so good at translating very complicated, big topics into digestible things that the average person can pick up and understand very quickly. And we are incredibly good at managing our time and managing, you know, like I said, complicated things and making it digestible.
Sure.
There is a world for us to execute some of those things in other avenues.
I love your optimism, man.
Well, yeah.
No, seriously.
But it's tough, though. It's tough. Like, another thing that I'm kind of just thinking about right now is it's weird how many former radio people get into, like, real estate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you got to, like, sell yourself.
And car sales.
Yeah, what's with that?
Because you're good at talking. You can talk. Yeah. You can sell ice to a person that lives in the snow. You know what I mean? Like, it's everybody I know, the older guys from when I coming up, that's what they did. They went to car salesman or RV.
You brought up a good point, too, where, like, what we do, we don't make a lot of money, but if you make a really good deal in real estate, then, like, oh, you're kind of sitting in it for a bit. And it must be a nice kind of high to finally have some money.
Oh,
you know?
I have no idea what that's like. It must be awesome.
Food, you
know? Oh my God!
Isn't
Can you
great?
imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine not going to debt every month because you're making money?
Not me,
Brendan. Can you imagine not living in a hovel in the dirt?
No, I can't.
You can't, right?
Well, I after I left radio, I went into the ultimate stable career of the arts. So. I'm doing great.
I don't know. Maybe we should get you off the show because that was not smart.
I kind of like, you know, what this is as well, too, where, like, one thing I also wanted to bring up is with radio, the strength of it is the immediacy, the fact that I can reach you right now. And I was thinking a little bit about, you know, do I want to do, like, a TikTok or Instagram about, like, traffic reporting? And there are avenues that it could work, but it needs to be longer form stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys drive on the Queensboro. They're doing some resurfing stuff on that right now. They're not going to be finished till November.
Give us some more traffic updates while you're doing this here. Go.
Right, yeah. There's a thing on the 99 right now. The 78th Street overpass is taken over by, like, BD, which makes buildings and shit.
Give him a bed, Brendan. He's doing a traffic report.
I need a propeller head by...
yeah, that's right. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
If I'm going to do something like that, I can't give you an up-to-date... Oh, thank you.
There it is, yeah.
I can't give you an up-to-date account of what's going on the Portman Bridge right now with a police incident. I have to do longer form stuff that is going to live forever or live for a long time with that. And I just don't know if I have the interest for that, regardless of if it's going to actually translate into anything.
Yeah, well, and again, you're doing that all for free.
Yeah.
Like you do, like Jeff Jeffries, former AM730, when he got canned, he tried to do it on Twitch.
Now, I love Jeff.
Yeah.
And I think he's a great traffic reporter, firstly.
Here's your butt.
Yeah. Doing it on Twitch.
No, I know. No, but
that's the butt.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, that's the thing, too. Like, even with this show, I'm on YouTube, but, like, there's, where do you go?
Yeah.
But there is services where you can do multiple ones, but that's the thing. But that's what I'm trying to create with this Left Coast living room. Like, I'm trying to create a space for the big empty hole that's left when places like News 1130 and AM 6, like, where are these dorks supposed to go? Well, that's what this is. And, like, that's what we have to get over, too, like, this hump.
He called you a dork.
When it comes to radio.
Well, that would be accurate.
And even TV, because TV's dying, too. Like, we don't need CBS or CBC anymore. We have YouTube, Twitch. You can start your own streaming service for $3,000. You don't need YouTube even. You just need a URL.
But without CBS, where do we get the latest incarnation of NCIS?
Which one are they on right now?
Yeah, they're on CBS.
Delaware?
CBS is like
no, I know, but I'm talking about like NCIS Delaware?
CBS.
NCIS Halifax?
Yeah. CBS is like the old person's TV channel.
Well, we're supposed to boycott it now, too, because of Barry
I did
Weiss.
get rid of my Paramount Plus.
I stream 1,800 TV channels off the internet now for free.
I'm going to have to talk to you about that because I signed up for the Rogers Shaw cable package.
Oh, no.
I'm going to need to cancel that because my employee package is...
so do you use a VLC player?
I do. I have VLC player, but I don't use that.
So what you do is you just do this simple step. I'll send you the link. You copy and paste a URL into the playlist creation, and you hit enter, and you let it juice the pinwheel of death go, and then boom, a playlist shows up of 1,800 fucking channels from around the world. They're all free to air. It's not illegal, but it's like, you know, CBS Delaware or KVOS local. You know what I mean? Like this local. It's like all those on your VLC player. You can.
I think you can get this too.
Cindy's gonna call in. Watch the phone, Brendan.
I think you get this too, where like we're such news nerds that I would just love to see what's going on in Delaware and get some kind of like, okay, here's a weird story here. And,
But that's my point to that is that we don't need them, and I can't wait for us to get over this hump of, you know, we don't need them anymore. We can do it on. They literally need us, and they needed us this whole time. We just were too interested in being awesome people and creating and doing it for free.
There's a point to be made there too of like, I think that you got to go to where they are, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, or even Twitch. Like, as much as I don't think that the live element works with that, and to that point, I still think radio is one of those things. You just got to have people that believe in the locality.
Yes, and again, we have to go like these corporate management types up beyond the PD level for most PDs, you sons of bitches. But you know what I mean, though? There's a level of like, when we remove them, we remove this barrier of creativity as well. So it just opens these doors. So if we can just get over this hump and figure it out and how to organize. But how do we do that, right? Like, because this literally less than an hour show takes me 8 hours to prep for, 6 hours to set up for. And I do it all for free. And I've invested like, this shit ain't cheap. Just so you know. You know what I mean?
It looks amazing, by the way.
Thank
you.
you.
From what I'm seeing on the monitor.
Well,
here.
Until your camera just.
Well, thank you.
Up until then, it was amazing.
Damn
your
it,
camera just
Brendan.
went dead. Cindy keeps going straight to voicemail. It's not ringing.
Damn it.
Yeah. We'll get. Hi, Sydney. Cindy. Yeah.
Cindy. Yeah, we'll just have to look at
Cindy's a lifer. Yeah, she's who we do this for. You know, she's one of those people who has been listening to radio for a long time. I know she used to message me all the time when I was at AM 730, and it's people like that are who we do this for.
That's it. And she's great. She's a weirdo, but she's great. We love you, Cindy. No question.
Yeah.
So what do you got? We gotta put a bow on this. What are your thoughts? Where are you going? You got something, Brendan?
You're working on
No. I've ruined our perfect show.
What did you do?
I forgot. No, we're still live. Everything is
good.
fine.
As long as we're
I shouldn't
live.
have brought this up, but I forgot to put the end in. So how are we gonna end this? I don't have the end.
Oh, you need the extra.
Yeah, the extra.
Oh, we gotta run credits. Okay, hold on. Let me fix this.
We can keep talking. Like, I got more to say. And
I know.
I'll buy you some time.
I was just gonna say, please, Alex, vamp. You were just going into something. Go ahead. Tell me what you're gonna say.
What was I gonna say? Something about, like, you know, it's as sad as I am about what's going on with radio. I think that there's still kind of a future in it, but you need someone that actually believes in that future, and that's the problem and the disconnect that we're seeing. As Eric was accurately saying, it's all about going on somewhere off in Toronto, and it needs to be local here in Vancouver. But we all get into this very serious medium sometimes because we want to kind of tell our stories and be creative. And as much as I love radio, I've been in so many Aircheck meetings where I was like, okay, you got to rein it in. You got to bring it back and talk to everybody. So I'm like, no, dude, like, I get more people tuning into the radio when I get to tell a bad joke or accidentally drop an F-bomb or play a clip. Like, I wanted to play so many clips. Like, I wanted to do the Professor Farnsworth, good news, everyone. Every time a crash cleared. And they were like, you can't do that. I'm like, why the fuck not?
Right.
So
they never really, other than their corporate gibberish, they don't have a real answer.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there is a point to be made about, again, hyper-specialized with traffic reporting. Sometimes you talk about things where people die in motor vehicle accidents, and you don't want to make light of that. Like, that is you toe a very particular line with that, where you want to be entertaining, but you want to respect that things like that are very real possibilities. And we, especially during COVID, when I was at AM 730, we talked about a lot of suicides where people would jump off of a bridge. We never, ever, ever, ever called it that. If you ever heard police incident has the Lionsgate Bridge shut down, that might have been what's it. It's not all the time. Like, sometimes a police incident is like somebody fell off their bike and they need to be attended to, but a bit later at night and it's, closed for a couple of hours. I mean, if you know, you know. But, the central point that I wanted to make there is some of the bigwigs would just say you don't want to make light of these issues. And, when you're doing traffic reporting for 10 years like I have, yeah, of course you don't. But you can, you know what's going on. Like, when there's a fucking, it's a case of a beer truck rolls over. Yep. And you can't talk about the fact that it's a beer truck rolling over.
Right.
Or a porta potty fell off of that happened a couple of times off the Port Mann Bridge. It's a shitty situation.
Yeah,
you want
to
drown these things.
That's I feel that about the, you get told one thing to do one thing, and then then when you do it, you lose your job and get fired. What's up, Brendan?
I just think it's amazing you got air checks.
Yeah.
We never got air checks.
I got more air checks at 11:30 for less than 3 years than I did at 5. No disrespect to like the people running 7:30, but at 11:30 they would actually sit you down and go like, here's what you're doing, here's that. Yeah. But they would also, as Eric is saying, you would get like contradictory advice, and you're in the front lines, you're in the trenches, you know what works, you know what gets people calling in, and they would say these things like, don't do that. Be like, why? This is clearly something that works. We should be doing more of this, not less of it.
I do understand they're like, they are they're talking about license and language, and that's very important. But there's a freedom that, it was just stripped away, and I believe that's part of the erosion of the whole industry was exactly what you're talking about right there. Not allowing that freedom to happen, because that's, again, as we mentioned several times, a connection is what it's about.
There's a bigger point to be made about like lowest common denominator. I always talk about when I'm training people and I'm getting people like hit the lowest common denominator, because you want to access the most amount of people. Yeah. Like, if you can't be funny, you can be funny, but you don't want to be offensive. You don't want that any reason for someone to turn you off, because you can get listeners for life. And, lowest common denominator, when I talk to people about that, they would often bring up like, you mean make like, fart jokes or bad humor? And like, look, fart jokes are just funny. And like, if more people think that it is funny, then yes, you go for it, because you want the biggest amount of audience to appreciate your stuff. And that's broader than just radio. That's just media 101. Like, you want to make yourself as accessible to the widest amount of people as possible.
Yeah. What's your message to management, Alex Carrigan?
I mean, really, it's the same kind of thing that I told you, the same kind of thing that I mentioned earlier, where it is so aggravating that an accountant in Toronto can make these decisions for Vancouver news and sports. My message would also be that, Rogers Media and Rogers as a whole made a net profit, and
$6 billion, over $6 billion they profited last year, and they still cut it. Please continue. Please continue.
They still cut it. So the fact that all these things are kind of centralized into Toronto and other markets specifically shows that there is not this care into the locality, and the strength of radio has always been that you can turn it on and find out what's going on in your backyard, and that's where the strength of radio is. The managers that I like, the ground level managers.
That's those ones I keep giving the caveat of we got to give space for those guys, because
I do want to name a couple people that I really appreciate.
Please.
I'm not sure about other Dean.
Who cares?
Dean Rexedler.
I love Dean.
Oh my God, he's so good. And
he's such a. You know what Dean's doing exactly when he needs to do it, and you know what's going to happen because Dean's there.
Yes. Dean was.
Can't beat that.
Like I made life hard on Dean sometimes, not on purpose, but there were times where we would kind of butt heads about, again, the direction of, you can't play clips, you can't do this.
That's what it's about. You're supposed to do that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
He was the guy who, we go back to air checks. He was the guy who would sit down with me every couple of months and go let's go over this again. And just a lot of it was pretty much just like, hey, Alex, you're doing great. Keep up the great work. Yeah. We'd be in there less than 15 minutes and he'd just shoo me on my way.
Who else?
Well, Terry Shintz. Terry Shintz was a guy that every time I talked to Terry, it was like talking to a therapist, where he would kind of ground you and sit you down. And he was somebody that I really appreciated, especially in regards of when I was at AM 730, he was at CKNW, so I didn't get to interact with him a lot. When he was at 1130, he was right there. And he was somebody who just really kind of, every time I talked to Terry, I felt heard. And that's, again, kind of like a therapist thing, where... Yeah, he was somebody that I really, really did appreciate. And there's one more that I want to throw out there.
Go.
He's not.
Is it Sydney?
It is Sydney. Oh my God, sweet Sydney Parker. I'm so glad. Somebody else was gonna bring up. But let's talk about Sydney for a second.
Go ahead.
Sydney Parker.
We'll wrap it up after, but go ahead.
Is so fucking good at traffic reporting and so good at just reporting. And I remember helping to train her at 730, and she put 5 years in there. And she was there when 730, got axed. And I was talking to her in the background going, hey, we got this opening here at 1130. I know you don't want to come back to radio, but it's going to be different here. And we bring her on, and then she comes on. Yeah, I know. I feel so bad about that. I do feel partly responsible. I've talked to her about this too.
Stop that. Take that out here. You're not responsible. You're doing a good thing, but continue.
And that's what she said too. We're like, no, this isn't on you. It's my decision to be there. But at the same time,
it's tough.
For her to have gone through it twice. I went through it once. I was fired at other places. But for her to go through stations getting axed twice at such a young age with her, and again, I think the world of her. I think she's so good. But Sweet Sydney Parker is what Corey Boss used to call her on the Whitecaps broadcast. And she hung on to that because she's such a sweetie pie. But it's John Ackerman. John Ackerman was the guy that I wanted to bring up. It felt like a bucket list item to work with him, and I'm so privileged that I get to say that he is now my friend.
Nice.
And one of the things that really just still breaks me up is the fact that I can't go into work and give him a salute and go, sir, how are you? That's how we used to always kind of introduce ourselves. And
he always says thanks, sir, whenever I comment on him.
Yeah. And John is so fucking smart, too. I believe he has some kind of degree or a background in history.
He's just a dork.
Yeah.
No, there's not. I don't think there's. He's just a dork.
So one time, we had a crash on Burley. We had all these bloopers that were, we lost in the Great Burley crash. And it just out of the corner of my mouth, I said, "Oh, it's like the Library of Alexandria burning down." And he looks right at me and goes, "No one's gonna understand that." And I go, "But you did."
Yeah, he loved it.
But you did.
Oh, you gave him a news boner with that one. Yeah. All right, Alex. Yeah. Thank you for coming in.
I just want to say that.
Yeah. Oh, Brendan needs to talk now.
Through the ages, Brendan needs to talk. You saw where I live. I need a moment here.
Yeah.
Well, through the ages, many of the great broadcasters who I've always looked up to have these isms, have these sayings that are just from them. And Alex Carrigan, the East-West connector, is connected.
No, stop that.
Don't be a stranger. You had so many.
Yeah, don't be a stranger. Don't put yourself in danger. That was me.
Yeah.
But the East-West connector is East-West connecting. That's a traffic reporter named Neil O'Brien.
Okay.
And, yeah, that's Neil. So I actually stopped.
Oh, my heart.
Yeah, I stopped saying East-West connector because people thought that I came up with it. I'm like, no. And Neil also had one of the most glorious ways to describe when something wasn't good. He called it bowling shoe ugly. And,
nice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, don't be a stranger. Don't put yourself in danger. That's one of mine.
Yep.
And yeah, you're there's so many that just you don't plan to ever do these kind of isms. They just come out, and before you know it, you're getting air checked, and people are like, you know what? That's actually kind of nice. Keep that up. That's because it's brand recognition.
Yeah.
But yeah, you and I go way back too, of course, with 730 and CKNW. And
all right, we've had enough of Brendan. We don't need to talk about him. Neil T. O'Brien.
Yeah.
Neil T. one of the greatest men that ever fucking walked this earth. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's a shame that we lost him when he did. But when you eat McDonald's for breakfast and A&W for lunch, I love you, Neil, but too much Haribo. Oh, what a wonderful human he was. Gosh, thank you for reminding me of him. That's great. Alex Carrigan, you're the first guest on the live show.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
It's great to pop that cherry.
Yeah.
And here's to more live guests as well. Like I love what you guys are doing. Like it's such a high production element in terms of some of these bits that you guys are running.
It's Brendan's. It's all Brendan.
It's so good.
And you got an open invite. Tell you and your dungeon. If you ever want to come on here and tell me, share a little more, it's always welcome, man. It's a pleasure. And Vancouver will miss you. I know they will, because there's that attachment that comes with everyone on the radio.
They've been messaging me, and I'm going to miss Vancouver as well. Like it was a privilege, an absolute privilege to do what I did for so long. And thank you for letting me sit in your car and guiding you through from point A to point B.
Cindy, I don't know what happened with the phone.
Just keeps going to voicemail.
I know. I shut the voicemail off. Cindy, I love you. Thanks for calling. She called, man. We had a call. We almost had a caller, Brandon.
We almost had a call.
Okay, we gotta wrap this train wreck up. It's been too long. Okay, Alex Carrigan, again, awesome for here. Great story, great insight. It's an emotional thing. Getting fired sucks, and where do you go from here? Brendan's here annoying us all. Thanks for tuning in. You can flip now.
All right.
You can do the extra thing if you got to take your time.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I got to take my
rush.
time.
We're going to watch Brendan do this.
Somewhere over there.
Yeah, I got to take, because I didn't throw it in here, and I got to do this. I got to open it. I spent
so much time pumping your tires about how great the program was, and now look at this.
All right, here we go.
Anyway.
Run it.
I'm running it.
Next to the Fraser Arms Hotel.